wanderer in the sunken village. You must be lost. Back in the day, you just needed to look at the stars and you'd know where you were going. Now, even they are misplaced. I guess I'm just an old man listening to the sound of the sea. Every wave carries a story, you know. Some are whispers, others are roars. I like to think they're keeping me company. Long ago, I decided to wait for something to happen. So I'm waiting for what's ahead of me. But I can feel that it's closer than ever. Everything that's around us, it's not yet the end. And that thought really bothers me. Monsters? I think you misunderstand. I don't see any monsters here, only lost villagers, still clinging to their home. It's sad, but as you can see, not much depends on us. The world just keeps on happening, and you happen along with it. They were given some time which they've tried to use as much as they could, that's all. I'm glad they allow me to stay here despite what happened. I like this place. It's the cycle of life. There's nothing to be afraid of. If you're afraid, it means you're struggling with something too much, my friend. Sometimes you just need to sit and look. Watch everything turn. I have everything I need. The entire world in one place. The sunken village was not always sunken, but one day someone, undoubtedly important, made a decision, undoubtedly necessary, that it would be better to make it so. So the wave came and made the village into the sunken village, and its inhabitants, well, you can see for yourself. That's a good question. Maybe they burnt during the charred conclave. Maybe not. Nevertheless, the punishment was delivered and justice prevailed. Once again, the world was made a better place. At least that's what those who set fire to the stakes preach. All in the name of the Word. Among others, this wouldn't have happened if not for Camelot's desperation. Hey, many tragic decisions were made. I don't know if the word was so unambiguous or if its interpretation failed. What happened on the fields of the charred conclave wasn't just about the flood, my friend. It was about things and forces we don't understand. Long ago enough for people to have no chance of discovering why it happened, and yet recently enough that this place still reminds us of it. Now the village is what it is, and the past has washed away. At least it can still be home for them. And I'll stay and look. These are interesting times indeed. You'd have to ask those responsible for the flood. Who knows what's going through people's heads? Maybe someone ordered them to do it. We'll never know. I know that some druids did it. Specific individuals, although their names have long been forgotten. This is no great mystery, my friend. Island Asylum? I don't remember being there, not clearly. But when I look at your face, something stirs. Yes, I'm sure we've crossed paths before. And look at you now, out in the world, breathing the fresh air. That's something to treasure, my friend. Freedom is a gift, even when it feels heavy. Enjoy it. Before you go, I would like to ask you one thing. Who are you? I understand. I see you. I hear you. and I have a feeling that you will find what you're looking for. Farewell, and thank you for visiting me, my friend. You can come keep me company whenever you want. The sunsets here are beautiful.
It's nice to have a break. It used to be a retirement plan for the keepers, since you're a keeper for life. We used to call it the barracks, but then, when our new captain took over, he decided to open the horns to the world a bit. We have an inn now, and we've welcomed some outsiders. Too bad that nobody's allowed to go there unless they have a permit. And since we're on lockdown, nobody's getting a permit. Didn't I already tell you we're in a truly sad hole of a place? Why would you want to fix it? Do you even know what it is? Take some advice from an old man. If there's a giant, ancient statue that somebody tried to turn to dust, they must have had a good reason for it. Well, if you put it that way, then I suppose I have to tell you the truth. Otherwise, the terror from the sea will bite me in the ass while I bathe. Of course I can fix it. I've been doing this kind of thing since I could swing a hammer. It's a skill we pass down from master to apprentice, generation to generation. Nothing fancy, just good old blacksmithing. Obviously, though, you'd have to bring me a couple things so that I can actually do it. How did you, Oh, forget it. I don't even want to know. Just give me a moment. Here. That should do it. Do whatever you need to if you're really sure about this. But please try to come back alive. I have nothing to tell you. I could try to talk you out of it, but I'm guessing that wouldn't work.
Disturb my peace. You made an oath never to summon me again. Excalibur. Wait. Is it really you? You, who come from a time beyond. Show yourself before me.
It seems he speaks to me. Allow me to answer him.
Welcome, old friend.
I can see that you know me, but I am a mere shadow of my true self. I don't remember you, Lord of the Seas. Forgive me.
That's what you told me, my friend. The next time we see each other, you will not remember me. But you are here now. The will and the power led you back to this place. Even in this incomplete form.
Where should I look for myself? I wish to restore Avalon to its former glory, yet I don't know how.
Avalon's fate has never rested upon one person alone, not even one as great as King Arthur. Yet here you are, trying again, restless and eager to take the responsibility again. I salute you, my friend.
Tell me what I must do to be worthy to lead Avalon once more. I do not think I have the strength.
Your path is true. Seek wholeness, and Avalon will reveal what it needs from you. And yes, you need to touch Excalibur.
Thank you, my friend.
And you, mortal. You have given yourself to the King's service. You are worthy of a place among the keepers of the South. Arthur, take out your sword and fear no failure. It is yours to take. It always was. I deem you worthy, my friend. The promise I gave thy mother is fulfilled, and thus our pact is ended. You know where to look for your soul. Trust yourself. And when you reach your journey's end, I trust you will make the right choice.
Perhaps. I cannot say for certain. My memory remains too clouded. It seems familiar. I do not feel my soul bound to it, but I know our path shall lead us here, one way or another. Something lingers beyond this gate. Something ancient. That much I know. We'll find the truth soon enough. Yes, it seems we knew each other well during the war. And this proves that I sought allies beyond our own forces. And I trusted him enough to carry the knowledge of Excalibur. This must count for something. Much the same. He was a fierce warrior, determined to win at any cost. I watched him closely, and I found him too consumed by cruelty. That is why I chose Seawall and Palamedes as my closest confidants, not him. Yet this Galahad still seems devoted to Camelot and the old ways, and he remains just as fierce.
I am his will, the fire that bends the world to his command. I am the blade that shapes kings and shatters tyrants.
Enough, Merlin. You can't keep throwing lives into this abyss. These experiments, they're destroying what remains of us.
Destroying us? They're what's keeping us alive. Do you think the Four Dwellers will stop for pity or mercy? Every soul we lose here saves 10 more on the battlefield. You told me to do this. You sanctioned this. And I'm close to getting it right. I know it.
No, we can't justify this. There's no victory worth such a cost.
You know full well, Arthur, that this isn't about victory. It's about survival. If we don't push these boundaries, there will be no future for your kingdom, for Avalon. You dream of peace, but without victory, there will be no peace to dream of. The path ahead is brutal, but if we relent now, we lose everything.
And yet we keep losing people and gaining nothing in return. We must change the path.
They volunteered for this.
They volunteered to save our kingdom, and you've gotten no closer to doing it. Their sacrifices cannot be in vain, Merlin. Find another way. Use your mind, your wisdom. Leave this slaughterhouse you've created behind.
A different way. That will take time. And resources we may not have. The enemy won't wait.
They will if I make them. Whatever it takes, I will buy you that time. Find me a weapon that wins this war without annihilating what we fight to protect.
Whatever it takes.
Yes. Let it be known that it was my decision, and I will bear the consequences of it.
Oh no, my king. People can never know. It was all my idea, and you knew nothing about it. All of us have our role to play. You are the leader, and they need to love you. If we win, you need to become more than a man. You need to become a symbol.
Now, I remember. Before you judge me, it all seems so obvious now, doesn't it? The right thing to do. It wasn't back then, and you can trust me on that. We were on the brink of losing the war, and wars aren't won with wishful thinking. There was no clean path, no noble answer. Only the weight of reality pressing down on our necks. Something had to be done, or everything we fought for would have been in vain. And in the end, the ones who stepped forward, who chose to pay the price, made it possible. And their deaths gave Merlin the knowledge he needed to finish his work. To find something that could really turn the tide in our favor. Justified? No. Justification is for those who have the luxury of doubt. And I had a kingdom to save. They were brave men who volunteered their lives, just as they did every time we rode onto the battlefield. The difference was that if Merlin succeeded, one man's sacrifice could have saved us all, could have ended the war before more blood was spilled. If sacrificing a few meant the survival of all, then there was no choice at all. Maybe they never saw justice. Maybe their real stories were erased from history. Call it cruelty. Call it madness. But if I'd done nothing, there would be no Avalon left to argue over. But the kingdom still stands. The people live. And that has to mean something. I did. But this wasn't about pride. It wasn't about saving face. It was about survival. The truth about all this would have broken my people. I couldn't allow that. And a king doesn't get to flinch. If that meant carrying the weight alone, so be it. I would make that choice again if I had to. I told him to stop the experiments on our men, but to keep going. And he did. He started experimenting on the Four Dwellers, the enemy. If their bodies could be broken down, their power turned against them, wasn't that their own doing? Wasn't that fair? So he figured out how to twist the Four Dwellers' power into something we could wield. I told him to conquer the weirdness. And in the end, he did. He found a way to make me stronger. Stronger than any man had the right to be. It wasn't just magic. It was something deeper, older. A force that reshaped me. And with it, we won. The war ended. Avalon was ours. The bloodshed stopped. The banners were raised. and the kingdom stood safe. That's the question, isn't it? All those lives we sacrificed. Loyal souls, ready to pay the ultimate price for what we fought for. I grieved them all. I carried them with me at every step, their memory a weight on my conscience. But it was for them that we pressed on, because otherwise, their deaths would have been in vain. And that I could never accept.
You've got that look again, like you've seen something you wish you hadn't. Another piece of the king's soul reclaimed, right? What did it show you this time? Merlin. Ah, Merlin and his obsession with the weirdness. The king thought it could save us. Merlin thought it could be controlled. Together, they were willing to tear the world apart to win. I was a prototype for Merlin's latest idea, immortality. One of a long line of the king's loyal pawns. Used and discarded when they found a better way. When they decided to go even deeper into their madness and turn our king into a monster. Seawall was Merlin's first attempt. I was the last. We could say I was lucky, but to say that would take a truly macabre sense of humor, don't you think? Even if he didn't, he should have. He was desperate to win, and desperation doesn't leave room for conscience. Every scream, every scar, even if he didn't see it, he allowed it. That's as good as approving it. Fight back. Against who? Merlin? The king? You don't fight gods when you're just a pawn on their board. You endure. You wait. And when the time comes, you either break, or you're left to clean up their mess. That's what I do. What I've always done. The monsters, the weirdness, the chaos. All of it leads back to them. We're left in the ruins of their grand plans, trying to uphold their ideals, fighting for what never was. It's time to bury all these fairy tales in a well-deserved grave. And that's what I do. Of course he'd say that. There's always a scapegoat and a convenient excuse for men like him. But it doesn't absolve him. Not when he was the one who unleashed this madness on all of us. He wanted victory, no matter the cost. And when you want something that badly, you stop looking too closely at what's being done in your name. And, after all, who said we were supposed to win this war? Who said we were supposed to survive? You've seen what they did, what he did. And that's not the end of the story. It's not the extent of their sins. Find the pieces of his soul. Put him back together, if that's what it takes. And then we, or I alone, if you decide to defy me, can end the cycle. Either way, we will get to his resurrection. I've seen it too many times to believe the cycle will be broken before it happens. But know this, once he's whole, Arthur's power, his mistakes, and his madness will all return. And when that moment comes, I'll be there. Whether to stand with you or step over you. The choice is yours. Just remember that when that happens, and you stand by his side, there won't be room for both of you. start. You've already started. But if you want the next piece, head to Kunacht. The menhir there is failing, the weirdness swallowing what's left of the village. You will need to find another artifact. The shield our king gave to Palamedes. He was one of the king's finest, a voice of reason amidst the madness. But it didn't save him or his legacy from what they had coming. Find the shield, and then, well, we will meet again. We'll see if your perspective changes.
Please, state your business. Oh, I see. You still have blood on your hands. Excellent. Go chop up. You keep...
slave. An invitation. The Queen. Her word. The highest Lord. I am a servant.
There's nothing for you here, Wanderer. The doors are closed. And if I couldn't open them, you won't either. Tyrannus of the Thoid tribe, Dalriata. And you? Likewise. Great minds think alike, and apparently they're drawn to the same places. If you're set on going further, you'll need every bit of life force you have. A curse for killing a member of the Thoid tribe could take half of it. I thought that since you're here, you'd know what lies behind these stone doors. Many have tried. I thought I was worthy, but I keep failing. I've been camped here for 3 moons. There's no life for me outside this cave. If I can't get through, this is where my story ends. This is my destiny, one I chose for myself. I'll either get through or die trying, but my strength is fading. This isn't how I wanted it to end. It is death and magic. It draws its power from the ancient mist. Of those who went hunting for it, only a scant few ever returned to their tribes. Look for the mist, and in the mist for antlers and an evil eye. They say its feet don't touch the ground, though those are the words of the madman who somehow survived an encounter with it. We call them the Mist Bearers. Everyone from Thoid wants to face one of those wraiths, and I'd love to get my hands on one of their corpses. Those are priceless and can be used for strong magic. And if you manage to slay the Mist Bearer, I'll pay you in gold for everything you bring back. At least I'll get something out of this pointless mission. Then maybe I'll invite you to further collaboration. Return alive and you'll find out. Good luck, Wanderer. May fate be kinder to you than it has been to me. Aye, you did it. Impressed. I wish I'd been the one to face the Mistbearer, but I bow to the one who managed to slay it. Excellent. And here's your reward. Yes, I did. With your courage, you've proven yourself a worthy candidate for the ranks of the Alchemists Guild. And to be honest, it's been a long time since I've felt this confident about a new guild member. So, if you're interested, I might have a few assignments for you. What do you say? We seek the spark of life, the primal force that makes existence possible. We believe it holds the key to surviving the inevitable horrors that have already begun. There aren't many of us left, and our ranks remain hidden. You'll meet the others as you advance through the levels of initiation. Sometimes, though, we fall victim to our own secrecy. Some members delve too deeply into their research, or wander into dangerous places, and that often leads to trouble. The weirdness, of course. We know it's the source of all creation in Avalon, but not everyone can handle it. People fear the weirdness, so the weirdness creates nightmares. When we reach the primal source, the spark of life, we hope to tame it enough that it's no longer a threat. I only hope the other members haven't forgotten that this is our mission. Sometimes there are misunderstandings about our leader's orders, and that can end badly. Experiments that spiral out of control, or a misinterpretation of the meaning of life itself. Sometimes it's both. You'll understand in time. But first, I'd like you to do some reconnaissance for me. Consider it a warm-up. So, what's your choice? The Guild never stopped operating. At one point, we chose to work from the shadows, but we never ceased to exist. It wasn't the first time in Avalon's history that a group of ignorant fools, manipulated by politicians, needed a scapegoat. The Druids were the first target, and the plan was for the Alchemists Guild to be next. We preferred to disappear on our own terms, but we still care about the fate of Avalon and its people. What does it matter what he thinks? He has his mission, the tribes have theirs, and I have mine. History is unfolding elsewhere, and the Guild intends to secure a place in the front row. It doesn't matter who rules the South. The fate of all Avalon is at stake. If people wish to kill each other in the meantime, the Guild won't stand in their way. Our guild was indeed formed in Camelot, but we fled from there long ago. The Thoid tribe is the only one that doesn't fear magic. The guild saw my potential and invited me into its ranks. We have a valuable member, a researcher of the weirdness named Eckhart from Connacht. A very wise man. I have my own mission to complete, so finding out why he hasn't contacted us falls to you. I'll mark his workshop on your map. If something unfortunate has happened to him, at the very least, recover his research. Let's meet at the statue of the Morning Harpist in Connacht. The air changed the moment you arrived. What do you need? Ma'am.
make short work of you. That's all you've got!
It was supposed to be a reminder. The sword was never just steel. It was a symbol of what we stood for. Strength, justice, the will to carve a path forward. A weapon, yes, but also a promise. I wanted them to remember, to fight for those ideals, to uphold them, even when I was gone. Even when there was no king left to lead them. Not much. I never encountered one myself, but I heard stories about them. Mist-bearers, like most creatures on this island, emerged from the weirdness. They were always drawn to magic. The druids believed they fed on it in some way. Merlin forbade his apprentices from hunting them. Druids were too valuable to our war effort to be distracted by such pursuits, and they were meant to carry on Merlin's legacy should he fall. What became of them after the war, I do not know. Merlin saw Avalon for what it was long before the rest of us. He told me that Tintagel wouldn't hold, not forever. That the weirdness would gnaw at our walls, at our minds, at our very bones, until nothing human remained. But he still fought to map a way forward, to carve some sense into this land. And in the end, the land swallowed him whole anyway. We were losing the battle at Tuathan's mouth. Our last push before the weirdness took the field. Merlin was with us, bleeding, exhausted, but still weaving his spells. Then it came. Not a beast, not a man, not something we ever had words for. A shadow, wearing 1,000 torn banners, moving like it had no shape of its own. Merlin raised his staff, spoke a name I didn't recognize. And then he was gone. Not killed, not struck down, just gone. Like the land itself had taken him back.
Please, state your business. Well, well, the famous Bromar. No face and no life. That savage wiped out an entire unit of Camelot's infantry. But he couldn't take you down, huh? It's like the gods themselves made you for the job. Though I'm not sure which ones. In any case, you've certainly earned the gratitude of the capital. You are truly remarkable. I've never met anyone with such an insatiable thirst for blood. I almost wish there were more bounties left. But alas, you've handled them all. Please, take this as a token of Camelot's gratitude. And keep up the good work. I hope it brings you as much satisfaction as it does me. You're my favorite killer. Do you keep back?
Stay sharp. You're in for a world of... Your road ends here! We have company. You made a big mistake! Who goes there? Your wealth